Today I'm going to do a tour of my bookshelf. So excuse the funny lighting behind me. This is actually my garage that we have turned into a homeschool room and a dining room and a playroom. It's kind of our catch-all room and I love it. It's amazing. It is a total lifesaver, but the lighting is really funny. So I will turn that off when I show you the books that are up top. But in order to see, I have to have the weird light behind me. So I'm going to take you on a tour of my bookshelf. These are all my books for my children and homeschool and picture books, but this does not include books for myself that are in a different spot in the house. So let me show you the books that are behind me. So hey, my name's Adrienne from Hello Harris Homeschool. I am a homeschool mom. Clearly, does it look like a homeschool? And I love to talk about all things family life and motherhood, and I would love to have you join this channel. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe and let me continue with this video and show you all of the goodies that are behind me. So like I said, this is our garage that we have turned into this wonderful space for our family. And I will do a homeschool room tour coming up soon, but this is just a little sneak peek of where our bookshelf is. So I'm going to start over here. This shelf I love, but I kind of don't know what I'm doing with it right now. In the past, I've used it for unit studies, and I would display the things we have for our unit studies, but that's not in the plans for this year. So currently up here, I just have books that we are reading during meal times. So I like to read this during breakfast along with our Bible. Sometimes we will read this Curious George book during lunch, and we've been reading this book up here for the first week of homeschool. Underneath here, and here is all of the little pieces that I find around the house that need to go back to their home. But instead of digging in the closet and getting everything out, I put it in the bin to be dealt with later. Good strategy or bad strategy? I don't really know. Underneath this shelf, I have this little shelf here, which is just all my board books. Up top, I just have all or most of the ABC books that I have, or things like numbers. So this one that you can trace, there's a Bible ABC book, the Tuttle Twins toddler books, and of course Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. There's several ones. There's even a Star Wars one. I love this one, but I think I love this more than any of my kids. So I'm not going to get rid of it, but it's also not a favorite. And then just some of our favorites or things that are kind of in a series. These are the Nancy Tillman books, The Little Blue Truck, these construction books. This is my daughter's favorite book. And then just some more. We have all the Dr. Seuss little board books. And this is just free range for my toddler. I also have our morning basket down here. I'm not going to show everything that's in that right now. Maybe I'll do a video if y'all are interested, but that's where our morning basket sits. And then I think we'll go down the bottom first. So in front of the bookshelf, we have these giant floor cushions. I had them out and we rearranged things in the living room, and then I put them away because there just wasn't room for them. I pulled them out to get rid of them, and they have been claimed. I can't get rid of them. My kids love them here. The dog likes to lay on them. You see the dog toys down here. This is not my favorite spot for them, but they get used. They're functional, so they're staying. Let me move them out of the way, and I will show you the baskets on the bottom. So down here on the bottom, I have all of these white bins, these and this little shelf over here, but all of these white bins are homeschool-ish things. In this one here, I have things that are more language arts, games or manipulatives. So things like these poetry magnet things. I have ABC Go Fish. This is a magnetic fishing game. Here is just an ABC puzzle. These, let's see if I can show you. They're clothespins that I wrote all the alphabet uppercase and lowercase on, and so these can be used in lots of different ways. I put them in sensory bins. I clipped them onto index cards or flashcards to make words. These are some lacing cards. I forget what this game's called, but it's like a spelling game. And then just a few other things. These are language arts-ish things for young children. This is for math. We've yet to open this place value chart. Some giant dice. I've got some math games. Our time activity set. This game that we still haven't played, but it is money bags. So these are just some supplemental math things, math manipulatives, a little math puzzle, and things like these snap cubes and some fraction sets. So this is just a way for me to know where all of these math manipulatives are, because I don't have a whole lot of storage for this kind of stuff on the other side of the room. This next bin is what I like to call my quiet bin, or the activity bin. This just has some little quiet activities for all of my children. So things that they can do with their hands during read aloud time, or if they finish and they need to find something to do quietly that's not bouncing off the walls, they can pick something out of this bin. So here's this little egg puzzle. They've got some of these little, they're magnetic people. Here's Iron Man, and he's got some parts and pieces you can put onto him. Things like Barrel of Monkeys, these Think Fun games.
Hey,
this
Mommy.
Not So Fast.
Hey,
Tic-tac-toe.
Mommy.
There are a couple sets of these, which are pretty fun. There's structures, and there's another one. Animals. So this is just a mixture of things for my older kids to do, as well as for my toddler to do, like this button nail activity. And then I have a couple of these like one-person logic puzzles, some more magnet activities. These are some that my mom found at a yard sale for us. This one's pretty neat. It has all of these little pieces, and you can make some kind of superhero scene. There's also this giant magnetic thing that my mom got at a yard sale too. So these are just fun. You can put the animals wherever. Fun for my toddler. This next one is all puzzles. There are not very big puzzles. Most of them are these Dollar Tree puzzles like this. This we got at a flea market, and it's awesome. You turn it on, and there's all these little games that you can play. You can find the states. You can just push the states, and it will tell you the name of it. And this is what we've used for last year, my first grader, to learn all the names of the states and to label them on a map. So this was pretty fun. And then I made a little puzzle. There's these little strip puzzles that you do the numbers in order, and it will make a picture. There's an alphabet version of that too. These little puzzles from Five Below. And then there's a whole bunch of these inlay puzzles. So again, I will let them get these things out during read aloud time as well, because keep their hands busy and it is quiet. Then there's these puzzles that my sister-in-law gave us, which we have not really used yet, but I'm excited for these. So this is the world map and the United States. So we have a couple of states puzzles. If they feel like doing a big one or a small one, or just whatever they're feeling. And here is musical instruments. So there's a train whistle, my husband's drum pad that he's let the kids play with, harmonicas, xylophones, egg shakers, all the really loud things. I don't ever want to get rid of this, but it also drives me bonkers. So there's that one. And then down here is my little girl's puzzle. She's only 2. So we have things like this. And then I have just this IKEA drawer, and it's just got all, not drawer, it's from IKEA, and I think it's meant for papers to sort them, but you can pull them like drawers. That's what I was trying to say. So there's lots of different levels. We've added some new ones, a couple of different treasuries like so. Abeka ones, these are from our state. They were free, just lots of different things. And then this little bitty stack are just some math books. So things like this one, Benny's Pennies. This one's really cute. Eating Fractions, 100 Hungry Ants, A Remainder of One. I would love to find more math books like this, but this is genuinely just ones that I have found out in the wild, so to speak, at library sales or thrift stores, other than this one I got for school this year. And then moving over here, this is picture books, but I put all of the books for 5 in a row and Gentle and Classical Preschool here because those are some curriculums we're going through this year. And instead of going through the mini cubes and digging out the books that I want, I just stuck them all on one shelf. And then hopefully if the kids get them back, I can remember to stick them over here. This next shelf is just what I would call looking books. These are like look and find books, or just some of these big books that we found at library sales that they can just flip through and look at the pictures, maybe read little snippets, but they don't particularly have a category. So another one would be like this demolition equipment. They got this at our last library sale, and it's just got some wonderful pictures. I mean, my boys love construction vehicles, so this was really awesome for them. And then things like for my toddler, these Little People books, which, oh my goodness, I feel like these are so old. And there's some Knock Knock and joke books, another little I Spy book, and then this is my son's very beat up, very, very, very well loved Picturepedia. The whole cover has come off, and I need to tape it back on. But this is another looking book. We've got this Ripley's Believe It or Not book we got. I believe this one was free. And I don't know that we'll ever look through this, but I also can't make myself get rid of it yet. The Smithsonian collection of newspaper comics. It is huge, but I feel like this could be fun when they get a little older. Then we just have more picture books. These are all the paperback books. And then this is just more picture books, but this is like the overflow of the hardcover books and paperback books. So I'm always collecting picture books and children's books. I also have a video that I put out recently of our favorite picture books, so I can link that below, maybe put it in the iCards so y'all can check out some of the titles in here. So moving up, so we have all of those bins on the bottom, picture books and readers. And then I have on this next row is all science by topic. So here we have science books. We have our squishy body guy here. And then I have some activities. This is the Build the Human Body. This is a magnetic flip checks activity. A couple different activity books, reference books, some picture books like Dim Bones. And then we have just some bookmarks here. And then this is just bugs. So there is this magnetic bug thing here. There's a coloring book from Dollar Tree, a couple of picture books and reference books type things. The next cube over here is ocean. So again, this is just some kind of reference books, picture books, activity books. This is just an easy way for me to find them all. There's these Dollar Tree sticker books. Just some good flip through books. Lots of shark books. And then there is some on rocks, geology. There's really only like 4 books here, but there's one on the table. And then there's these. Maybe we'll get more, maybe we won't. I don't know. That's where they're staying. The next one is science and dinosaurs. I think this is the biggest categories that we have, or 2 of them anyway. We have like this is the same thing, just like these space books, some little activity books. There's some Usborne books. There is dinosaurs. So here's another of these Build T-Rex. There's some dinosaur flashcards from Dollar General, and then a couple of reference books, picture books. There's even just some storybooks like Nibbles and Dr. Seuss, and this is one of my favorites. It's Tadpole Rex. It's pretty cute. And then we move over here, and this is all animals. I feel like there's a better way to categorize all of this, but maybe I just don't have enough to categorize it differently. This is just all animals. So some of these I could maybe move, like this Eric Carle book, down to just my picture books, but I feel like this is a good place if we're studying animals to pull out stories about animals as well as the factual things. So there's just all sorts of things we've picked up at thrift stores like these. Oh, I got this one at Ollie's, and this one's really neat. There's some Usborne books. This was another Ollie's find that's really neat. And then a bunch of things like readers. Like maybe these could go with the readers, but I feel like this is a good place for it. Same here. And then there's lots of just all sorts of things. So mixture of picture books and reference books and activity books, all the things. This next section is kind of just a hodgepodge. I found these at a thrift store, and I'd like to find the rest of the series, but I just stored them here because this is kind of sciencey, but this one just fit with it. There are these neat books that I think my kids will like to flip through. This one I think was free, or maybe at a library sale. There's some little Dollar Tree sciencey books. We've yet to use this one, but it looks really interesting. And then just some atlases, some visual encyclopedias of science, and some other little books. And then these are just random things that I didn't know where to put. This is actually watercolor paper, but it won't fit in my filing cabinet, so I just stuffed it here because that's where I had room. There's some sign language and some United States maps because I have no idea. That's where they go. And then over here is some more reference book type things. So this we got free, and it looks really interesting too. It is Word Myths, Debunking Linguistic Urban Legends, to go next to Webster's Elementary Dictionary, also free. And then there's a Thesaurus Dictionary, Synonym Binder, an Almanac. Why can't I talk? And then just a First Dictionary, and then these are just a few extra random books that I have, like this geography pre-K book I'm saving for my daughter. And then there is this Atlas of the World sticker book and this cross-section book. So some of these things are just random. I didn't exactly know where to put them. Okay, next up, this is kind of my fairy tales, fables, treasuries shelf. I have the little golden book collection, Beatrix Potter, this huge treasury of picture books, the Pooh storybook, Dangerous Journey. These are kind of interesting. This is the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and it's the typical story. And then you flip it over, and it's called Another Point of View, and it's him just being friendly, and it's just a misunderstanding. So I just thought that was interesting. there's a couple of those. We love this book. There's some more Beatrix Potter. Um, this is the Goop Directory I printed off of Gutenberg Press. I love that. Gutenberg.org. I don't know why I said this. So just lots of Aesop's Fables, a couple of old books we've gotten that are missing spines from the thrift store or for free. This is all poetry. So lots of good poetry books in here. This is Bible. So there are a couple of these Answers in Genesis books that I've gotten, the little Bibles that they gave my children in the hospital when they were born, the Jesus Storybook Bible, a couple devotionals. These are just some more things that we've printed for free, like the ones from, what is it called? kidsofintegrity.com. It is amazing. They have free Bible studies, more Bible. So this is just the Adventure Bible, another Story Bible, a Study Bible. This is what we're going to use next. And then just a couple of other books. I also like to reference this, Plants Grown Up. So lots of good Bible resources. I couldn't make it fit on one shelf. And then the rest of these shelves, I go back and forth. So this one, and then this whole top row here, I go back and forth. This is all history. And my goal is to start following the Well-Educated Heart or Libraries of Hope rotation for their history. So I gathered up anything that was history and put it into each month's rotation and put it on these shelves. So this would be month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is 10 and 11 and 12. And then I also, these are just overview months, so I added things like atlases or things on the states or our state or presidents. I just kind of threw those things in there because I didn't know where else to put them. Things like, you know, this American President's Coloring Book, those type things. So I may keep them this way, but I've also thought about putting them on the shelves up above in that order and putting my chapter books down here. But we shall see. I'm always rearranging things. And then the last one on this row right here is just the shelf. This is more school books. So we have the original McGuffey readers that we are going through. We're still in the eclectic primer. I think that's what it's called. We're not in the first reader yet. I got this book free, I believe. Maybe I got it at a library sale, but Mathematics Made Simple. This looks really interesting. The Book of Virtue. Here are the parents' guides for the primary arithmetic. This is Ray's arithmetic. The Emma Searles language lessons. We're using the first one this year. And then here is just another reader. Here's algebra, physics. Here's a really old reader. Same with this one. So these are more vintage or school books that we have. And then just sitting over here is our globe and the world atlas that they can get out. So I will show you what's up here next, but let me go ahead and grab a stepladder so I can give you a little bit of a closer look. Okay, so I have these shelves up here. These were already up here before we turned this room into a school room. It was a craft room, and this is where I had all of my stuff. So we have just repurposed them as bookshelves. So up here I just have chapter books, and like I said, I may swap these out with my history books, but this is where they are for now. So here's just the peek. We have Tuttle Twins, The Imagination Station, Little House on the Prairie, Bear Grylls books, Magic Tree House, Beverly Cleary, C.S. Lewis. Here are some classics: Gulliver's Travels, Wind of the Willows, Treasure Island, The Five Little Peppers. Here's Paddington, The Indian in the Cupboard, Pippi. I'm so excited to read these. I loved the movies as a child, but never read the books, which is the story of my life. I'm playing catch up as an adult, reading all these good books. We have not read these yet, but they sound really interesting. A couple of Usborne books, The One and Only Ivan, Little Women. There's some Ronald Dahl books. So again, these are just our chapter books. And honestly, I don't think I've bought any of these. No, I take that back. I bought a few new, but 90% of these are free library sales, thrift stores, thrift books, or um, little free libraries. So here are some Hardy Boys books I found at the little free library. I'd like to find the first few to read to my boys. The junior classics, I got this at a library sale, and I'd like to find the rest of the series. The Book of Knowledge, I'm not sure if I should keep these or not. These were free, and it's not a full set. So I'm not sure if I should look for the rest of these or if I should get rid of them. I'm not sure. My book house, I would love a full set. That may be my next big book purchase, which may have to wait till next year. And then we have some of these books that we found at the library sale the last time we went, and my husband and my boys really wanted them. So we'll see how those get used. There's a really old dictionary up here. And then there's just this set up here. This we got at our last library sale as well. So it is Heidi and Five Little Peppers. So just some classics. And then this is Reader's Digest Best Loved Books. So I grabbed those. I think we're still missing a few. And then these are the Annals of America. And I got these all for free as well. So as you can tell, I love me some free books. And then these up here just have some extra activity books that we aren't using yet that I will pull up as we use up some of our other things. Also, I realize I'm showing you all the dust that's up there. That's kind of gross. Okay, so like I said, this is our garage. These are all of our children's books, homeschool books. On the shelf here, the only other place that I have books in this room is on the shelf in front of me, and I'll show you that real quick. It's just on top of my kids' toy shelf that I tried to make look a little pretty, so it looks nice in here. So this is on my kids' toy shelf, and this is just some nature study books or books about nature type things. So we just have some of the field guides, again, some free books that we picked up, some Magic Schoolhouse on Plants. There's some more field guides. This homestead book that I picked up for myself this year. The Handbook of Nature Study. I feel like, are you even a homeschooler? You don't have this book, so I'm excited to have that. And then just some picture books. I'm excited to try these One Small Square books. We've got a couple of those to try this year. Some birds. This nature activity book. This is Exploring Nature Exploring Nature Without Children. That's how we do it. Exploring Nature with Children. And then just some reference books here. This beautiful book. And then I got these this year. These are the Messner books, Up in the Garden, Down in the Dirt. And then I also got the snow and the pond. And then this is just a pretty wildflower book. And that is all the books in here. So I think that probably took longer than it could have. I apologize. I love books. I love talking about books. I love telling everybody about all the free books and all the wonderful finds that I found thrifting. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Tell me what your favorite book is. I am finding new books that I love all the time. Like I said, the story of my life is I watched all the movies as a kid to these classics and I loved them. And I didn't know half of them were books. So as an adult, I am super thrilled to be finding all these classics and reading them to my children and getting some of that joy for myself. So thank you for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you would like to see more and see my upcoming homeschool room tour and how we make this room work for us. And I will see you guys later.